Good morning. This is your Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei, and we're going to continue on with looking at simulations. And this is based on a 2022 AP question number 5. We don't have the information, or you don't at this point, to do part 5, part 5B. Part 5B will be from basically third quarter, but we can do part A and C. And the reason I'm doing this problem is many of my students reported to me on that year that part C was the hardest question for them on the entire exam. And yet, even just with the introductory activity, we know almost everything we need to do part C. But we're also going to take a look at part A as well, because some of that information you've learned in other classes. So 2022 AP question number 5. Studies have shown that foods rich in compounds known as flavonoids help lower blood pressure. Researchers conducted a study to investigate whether there was a greater reduction in blood pressure for people who consumed dark chocolate, which contains flavonoids, than people who consumed white chocolate, which does not contain flavonoids. 25 healthy adults agreed to participate in the study and add 3.5 ounces of chocolate to their daily diets. Of the 25 participants, 13 were randomly assigned to the dark chocolate group, and the rest were randomly assigned to the white chocolate group. So we had 12 to the white chocolate group. All participants had their blood pressure recorded in millimeters of mercury before adding chocolate to their daily diets, and again 30 days after chocolate to their daily diets. The reduction in blood pressure before minus after for each of the participants in the two groups is shown in the dot plots below. So we have the dark chocolate reduction, and we also have the white chocolate reduction. All right. And it was before minus after. So when we look at the dark chocolate, it looks like, somewhere around here we have how much it reduced by. And it says determine and compare the medians of the reduction in blood pressure for the two groups. Well, we haven't talked about medians, but I believe you saw that in middle school, and that's the middle number. So let's look at the dark chocolate median. So if I strike one here and I strike one there, oops, up here, then I do strike this one and I strike that one. Now I strike this one and I strike that one. I strike this one and I strike this one. I strike this one and I strike this one. I strike this one and I strike this one. And it looks like that's at about 7. So it looks like the median reduction in blood pressure for those who ate dark chocolate is 7 milligrams. Well, now let's do the same thing for the white chocolate. So we have this one versus this one. This one matches up to 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 this one. And then we have the 2 in the middle. So -2 plus 2 and divided by 2, we end up with 0. All right. So it appears that this one has a 0 reduction. So the median reduction in blood pressure for those who ate dark chocolate is 7 and is greater than the median blood pressure of 0 for those who consumed white chocolate. So basically, we showed our calculations, our middle, by crossing them off. And so that's what we had to do. And then we had to say determine and compare. So we determined it was 7, we determined it was 0, we made a comparison, and we said those who ate dark chocolate had a greater decrease in blood pressure than those who did not, who ate the white. All right, the researchers found the mean reduction in blood pressure for those who consume dark chocolate is X bar dark is 6.08. X bar just means the sample mean. So the sample mean, the sample average was 6.08, where the sample average for white chocolate was 0.42. Part B, we don't know how to do, so we're going to skip it, but there's one piece of information that we need from it. It says one researcher indicated that the difference in sample means of 5.66. All they did was 6.08 minus 0.42 gave them 5.66. So that was the difference in the means. And we're going to need that information in part C. So, part C, like Moses. A simulation was conducted to investigate whether there is greater reduction of blood pressure for those who consume dark chocolate than those who consumed white chocolate. The simulation was conducted under the assumption that no difference existed. So basically, they're saying, hey, there is no difference. So the status quo would be there's no difference. The results of the 120 trials of the simulation are shown in the following dot plot. All right. So if there are no difference, this is what we would expect to happen. Now here we have a great difference and here we have a negative difference. Use the simulation to determine whether the results of the 25 participants in the study provide convincing statistical evidence at a 5% level. That's what we talked about before, that adding dark chocolate to daily diet will result in greater reduction of blood pressure on average than adding white chocolate to a daily diet. Justify your answer. Well, what did we have? They claimed 5.66. Well, I don't know exactly where 5.66 is, but it's somewhere above that line. Well, it looks like I have 3 that are above that line out of a total of 120. So 3 trials out of 120 had happened. So from that, I can write my answer. So 3 out of 120 is 0.025. So 2.5%. So based on our simulation in the long run, on average, because there's a 2.5% chance of getting a result like this by random chance, because it was a simulation, so we know it's by random chance alone, and that is less than 5%, we have enough evidence to believe that consuming dark chocolate lowers blood pressure more than consuming white chocolate. So basically, all they said was, hey, we did this thing, we got a sample mean difference or difference in the sample means of 5.66, which is right here. And then we said if there was no difference and we just did it by random chance and we did it 120 times, we found that 3 out of 120 would give us 5.66 or more. So consequently, that's less than 5%. So it appears, based on our simulation, that dark chocolate lowers blood pressure more than white chocolate. Hope that helps. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.